We're going to begin in just a moment. All right, it is 5:02. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. We'll start with roll call, please.
Kimberly Gravel.
Here.
Aaron Paymont.
Here.
Sean Borowitz.
Here.
Larry Barbeau.
Here.
Rod McGrory.
Here.
Isaac McKechnie. Here. Lana Cosley Smith. Here. Kimberly Hampton. Here. Michael McCurchie.
Here.
Tyler LaPlante.
Here.
Bridget Sorensen.
Here.
Kimberly Lee. Austin Mose.
Here.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a quorum. On today's agenda, we have the following items. We have invocation, we have membership participation, we have the approval of minutes from 1/21 of 25. We have the following resolutions: FY 2025 budget document 003, Schedule 3 budgets, FY 2025 governmental capture expenditures. We have broadband planning, grant establishment, FY 2025 budget. We have utility authority, environmental contract, FY 25 budget. We have uranium testing, establishment of FY 2025 budget. We have CCER, TFPA, Ishkode 2, and USFWS FY 2025 budget. We have White Pine Lodge FY 2025 budget modifications. We have applying for BIA GLRI Coastal Restoration 2025. We have applying for BIA GLRI at Tikameg and Walleye Stocks. We have approval of contract for RO system installation project. We have approving contract for Next Gen Healthcare. We have Lodge of Hope LEO. We have Lodge of Hope MDHHS. We have acceptance of the tribe's 401k audit proposal. We have waiver of sovereign immunity and authorizing confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement, Sacred Path for enhanced tribal cards. We have protecting tribal government and services jobs. We have establishing annual performance review process for team members, and we have disenrollments. Is there a motion to accept the agenda? Motion by Isaac and support by Larry. Any discussion on the agenda? Hearing none, those in support signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion carries. So that would bring us to invocation with traditional medicine.
Ever good me. Just kidding. I know what the green light means. Step on the gas. Just kidding. That's good. That should be okay. Yeah. I'll hold that for you. You go first.
Thank you. As a lot of you know, a year ago yesterday, I lost a boy. And I went home for a memorial ceremony. It was really, really nice because my boy's mom and I never had to do anything at ceremony. My two boys and my daughter and my deaf boy who talks with his hands prayed for the food. And Nimki led the ceremony, and my young daughter talked for the water. And we covered the water up because we traveled through water. And this morning, when I was on the highway, I was remembering, I guess, the trauma that sometimes we face in our community even today. with Niganawabo. He left this world on this day 8 years ago. Harlan Darwin. And sometimes we remember those ones, like Adam. And each and every one of us have lost somebody at some point that kind of ricochets our thought process. And I'm always reminding us at how simple ceremony is. You know, I told my kids yesterday, ceremony is all about reaching the purpose of spirit. And I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to watch them. But I'm going to tell you if you did something right or wrong. No, I wouldn't do that. That's not me. But I wanted to share that with us because for the longest time, I always talk about the richness of this land that we're on. From the East Coast all the way to the West Coast, the border of North America between Canada and the United States is all on tribal land. Across from Nova Scotia, the Maritimes, all the way out to British Columbia. And sometimes we don't look at that as an energy. Sometimes the spirit within the energy is unknown to the potential if we as individuals are able to reach spirit. Because a lot of the things that we do is a physical. And I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Harlan. Because I had tumors in my head. And when I was leaving St. Mike's Hospital in Toronto, my neurologist, he says, "When are you going to start your program?" And I said, "As soon as I leave here." And I came right here. Didn't hesitate. And the rest is history. So I acknowledge the Chippewas of the Anishinaabe in my journey. Like there's a real pride in healing. And there's a real pride in leadership. And we have a historical leadership. And we have a historical belief. And sometimes we forget about the importance of someone being able to help us. Sometimes we ignore that. And we have to go back to being brave enough. It's like, help us a little bit. And we as Anishinaabe have a deep richness, not so much to the land, but we have a deep richness to the spirit of the land. And that's sometimes we can't break that down, but that's very inclusive to one's power of prayer. Our power to pray is our spirit governance. Our power to pray is our vow to the spirit of being strong as the transformation from spirit to human, and then from human to spirit. And we may be the only peoples left in North America that have a natural foundation to where it is that we plant medicine to where it is that we make each other well. This morning driving, I said the most important manufacturer to North America is the farmer. That's the most important manufacturer there is. But we ignore that. But we've been brainwashed to think otherwise. So I wanted to share that with us as our medicine was going around. And sometimes we know deep down that we have a beautiful foundation of history. And we also have a beautiful foundation to believe in creation, to whoever that is, whether it's Jesus or whether it's Buddha, whether it's Muhammad, or whether it's Jesus. But I really hope you believe in Gerard. Just kidding. I had to say that to break the ice, because it is cold. But I wanted to share that with us as a reminder. Maybe we get in. This is our home. Right? This is our home. Bawaring. Mabigay we in daik. Mabigay we know we want to go on and mabshukoyai. Like this is what our dwellings we lived in. Nahamushu. Poch come in mabigay in Chicago's. Mabigay the Goski Jesus. Mem shigo winigi ken mo ya gooding ka winigi nunda so go gaganishna be ya panege we ek mem shigo ya ge na be anin mabe winigi nunda so go yanin mabe winigi na wabni go ya mama shkwandem we aing mabe an wab no go yaing mabe jam no go yaing mabe an ga bi no ge yaing mabe an gi we no ge we yaing kinege was so go yan swimming. Mabigay we digin unda sugoyan and was sugoyaik. Mabigay we yagamik. Kinigay we get in daik. Kagi majain. Kinigay we digin yanin nama. Mabigay ni skikmikwe. Mabigay ni gaji we as ni cousin. Mabigay go kumiska we digin again the be. Mabigay go ni show miska we get we ni skode. Kinigay we digin unda sugoyain. Mabigay ni wadi yaik. Mabigay ni zag we ay gege jimni do kinigay we digin mo zag ni going on. Mabigay we digin unda sugoyay mem shigoyay. Mabigay we digin unda sugoyay. Waso ya nige ne waso nige ya wase ya ne ya mege ganunda ga ya mageke wige nunda memshu ya nem wase ya ne akige wige ya ga wamene ge ya wase nege ya mege wanege wige ya ne nunda ne wego dege wige ya ne gaje ya ne mishkunda mishkone ga ya mege ya mishko ya ne ga wege wige ya mishko ne ga ya ne ge ya kene ya ne ge ya ve wine ya ma ya ne ga ya ne ge ya nanim nege ya mege nanim wege nundane kene ya mishko ne ga ne ya bege mishko ne ga we age. Let's get up and stand strong. And let's not turn our backs on everybody. I'm going to the casino. I haven't been there all weekend.
Appreciate you, Gerard. Thank you.
Hoffman?
Yeah, can you guys hear me on Zoom?
Yep, I just raised my hand because there's really a lot of static on my end. I'm not sure, and I just talked to another person, and there's a lot of static on their end too. I'm not sure. I don't hear it right this second, but
Have to do it all over again?
No, I think it might be.
What's
the
that?
microphone.
All I can think of is maybe it's the microphone. If you can hear me well right now, I think we're doing okay.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
yeah, and if at some point you guys can't hear, just go ahead and pipe up, okay?
Okay,
Is
thanks.
it coming from this one?
There, something stopped for a second. There you go. You just fixed it, Tyler.
I think it was one of the microphones that Gerard was using. Okay. All right, guys, let's get back to business. So the item that we're currently on is membership participation. So if someone wants to address the board, Michelle Moore is in the back. Michelle, if you could put your hand up. Michelle has forms that you guys have to fill out. And if you guys do want to talk to us, just a couple basic rules. We reserve 5 minutes for every tribal member. Michelle will work to get you the answer to your questions before you leave here today. We don't engage in back and forth up here because we're in the middle of a meeting. Sometimes she might need a little bit more time to come up with your answer, but she's really great at her job, and we appreciate her. So the first one that we're going to cover is from Danny Lynn. So if you'd like to come forward. You just have to press the button so it's green.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay. Bonjour, ani kiniwaya, indanawe magana dog, wabano gija gendigo, danalan jibe indigenous cause, bautin and donjaba, bautin and da, makwadodum. The Nijiminishna Bekoi and Dao, Equikazo and Dao, Agakoi and Dao. Hello, everyone. My name is Danlin Jibe, or the Eastern Sky, and I am a citizen of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians. I am Bear Clan, I am Two-Spirit, and I come before this council to address the matters myself and others in the communities both internally and outside of service areas are very concerned about, especially given current events in the United States of America. I am also addressing these on what would be my grandmother's 80th birthday today. As some of you may be aware, the Trump administration recently declared ICE raids and deportation methods throughout the country. I address this and others because this does not only affect individuals regardless of their citizenship, but these have and will affect every indigenous tribe throughout the country. In fact, parts of the Navajo Nation are currently being affected by these current events as I read this. On a more positive note, however, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer recently signed laws that reclassify and strengthen laws that protect marginalized individuals from hate crimes and further discrimination, something that was desperately needed from the state for quite some time now. With these and other matters I am sure you are aware of as well, I ask you, the council, this. What is your plan to ensure protections for our tribal citizens in indigenous country during a time we are the most vulnerable? It is not just a matter and concern of how these will greatly impact our tribal citizens, but it is also a matter of protecting our elderly, our culture and teachings, women, our Two-Spirit communities, the disabled, families, the younger generations, and most importantly, future generations, among others. While there is a lot of fear and hopelessness being expressed by everyone affected by Trump's executive orders and future legislations, I stand before you all tonight expressing my strength, fearlessness, and willpower addressing these matters. For me and others, we will not bow down to another trail of tears. Our ancestors endured these situations in the past, and we are at the dawn of history repeating itself once again. I implore all of you within the council to pass resolutions as well as enact the new constitution to protect our citizens from oppressive situations now and into the future. Our tribe sovereignty is very important to me and should always be our top priority as tribal citizens to maintain that sovereignty and our right to reside on Turtle Island. As always, tribal indigenous sovereignty comes first. Chimigwech for allowing me the opportunity to address these matters before you all tonight. Mino Debekat, good night.
Thank you so much. Well done. All right, so the next form that we have is from Crystal Brownlee. Is Crystal here in person?
She should be on Zoom.
I'm not seeing her on Zoom. Do we have anyone that needs to be let in? No. Okay. And then the next one would be from Brenda Brownlee. So do we have Brenda online? Okay. Okay, so neither one is online right now. Do we have anyone else, Michelle? Okay. All right, so with that said, we are going to move on to the next item in today's agenda, which are minutes. So I'd like to entertain a motion to accept the minutes from 1:21 of 25. Motion by Isaac and support by Rob. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, those in support signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion carries. That brings us to resolutions. And the first one is FY 2025 Budget Document 003, Schedule C Budgets.
So I have a lot of static coming through, so if that happens to carry back through when I'm talking, let me know. Therefore, be resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the FY 2025 budget document 003 totaling $74,368,702, of which $25,306 covers full support. Now, be resolved. Further, the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa the CEO and
So Kim, we're having a hard time hearing you. Any opposition to
party.
Tyler reading tonight, guys? Okay, so Tyler will read. Any opposition to the reading being waived, or need Tyler to read it for you? Okay, so we're going to waive the reading on this. Is there a motion? Motion by Rob. Support by Larry. Jen, could you explain this resolution?
Hi, Jen Claire from the Budget Department. This is document 003, Schedule C budgets. These are the January through December budgets the tribe operates, and there's 124 budgets in this packet, totaling $74,368,702. And $25,220,000 is $220,000, $356 is tribal support.
All right, thank you. So we have speaking list that will start with Isaac. So go ahead, Isaac.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to amend where on the first resolve, right after tribal support, based on a balanced budget. So the only language would be based on a balanced budget.
I'll second that.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to amend. Any discussion on the amendment? Okay, Aaron.
So as I understand it, Isaac he's our treasurer, so he's doing exactly what a treasurer should do, is to ensure that when they go off to identify the funding sources, and I did ask that question today, that they have a requirement to balance the budget so that we don't have any deficit spending.
All right, Tyler.
Isaac and I had a short discussion last week as well, that we are going to have to review all of the tax codes that we're currently under and probably have a set number this year to do this balanced budget. So we are going to need to address this, at least for this year. And, we're not looking to treat any of the organizations unfairly, but everybody needs to pay in to what each division owes, because ultimately we have a tribe to run. We also want to review any positions that haven't been filled and see if we can pull those out of the budget for now and address them later as they come to be proposed again at the board level.
Okay, Bridget, then Aaron.
I'm glad that was added, but I still have concerns because I asked earlier and nobody answered or kind of blew it off, I guess, as far as those taxes that we were talking about. So it looks like, we still have a shortfall. I don't know where it's going to be filled in, but we're just going to pass it and don't know where it's coming from or what those effects might be if we have to take more in taxes, and how is that going to affect the casino or whatever. So I can't vote on something without it all spelled out in here. That's all.
Okay, Aaron.
So I just want to caution us as we take a look at that. I know in the past, there was this desire to balance the budget, and every year I was chairman, we had a balanced budget. But there was this desire to start slashing positions that made no sense. Indirect funded positions that are funded by grants and contracts, those don't make any sense to cut those. And the only reason I'm sharing it is because in the past, board members did insist we cut those positions. And what ended up happening is we started spiraling down in our indirect cost rate also dropped, which means then we have to backfill that with tribal support. So we can do this a smart way, or we could do it a really stupid way, and that ended up costing us more money. So let's leave those federally funded positions intact and indirect supported positions alone, because it doesn't make sense to cut those. Thank you.
Okay, Tyler.
Yeah, I should have clarified, but those are left off the table when we were discussing that. It all has to come back to the board anyway, but we do not want to damage our IDC. We do not want to damage any of our grant-funded positions or anything that's funded outside of tribal support. Just those positions that are not filled on tribal support that are costing us a budget line item to be reserved. And those could be readdressed later on. Like I had said, I hope Isaac would speak on this as well. But what we would look at is looking at those positions, pulling them out of the budget, and if the divisions or the people really need them in tribal support, they come and propose those to us and then explain to us why they haven't been able to fill them for 6 months to a year and why it's needed to be added back to the budget for tribal support. So should have clarified that first time around, and hopefully Isaac will
Okay.
he's the treasurer.
Okay, do you have a deadline that this has to be done?
Well, currently, we are operating on a continuing funding resolutions. These are budgets that started January 1st, and the continuing funding resolution ends March 31st.
Okay, but if I'm remembering correctly, you said there are sources to fill this budget.
That's what we had presented last Monday to the board was.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Lana, then Isaac.
Yeah, I just didn't want to shout out, but I'm getting text messages and messages from other people. The static is getting worse, so just for the benefit of the membership, Ashley and Lana did say they're sending someone in to look at it because it seems to be getting worse.
That's what's wrong.
Okay, so IT is going to be coming in. It might be an internet issue, but, for the board's information on Zoom, we can hear crystal clear here. We'll have IT in here and go on recess if they need it to get it repaired, but it is what it is right now. So, all right, Isaac.
Hey, are we talking about the amendment right now?
Just the amendment,
Okay.
yep.
Well, that's what I wanted to clarify, because we're jumping all over. Yeah, so Tyler and I had discussed the budget, and the main thing that we have to come up in agreement with is that we are here to balance the budget, and anytime you take your funds, out of your fund balance to offset the losses in your budget throughout the year, sooner or later, you're not going to have a fund balance. I was the president of Jake Elbow Wadding for 10 rough years, and we had a fund balance, and it was strictly used because our funding quits June 30th, and it begins again October 1st. So from June, July, and August, September, we had no funding, but we still had the same bills that came about. So we had to pay for our teachers and, our overhead costs. So that roughly cost us about $2.1 million. So if we don't have a good fund balance, then we will have to cut positions. But I'm trying to avoid that, and that's why I'm hoping that we put the language in here so we operate on a balanced budget, and that's the way we should all do.
Okay, anyone else on this amendment? Okay, let's do roll call on the amendment then.
Lana Cosley Smith.
Yes.
Sorry. Michael.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee. Aaron.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee.
Okay, so motion carries on the amendment that successfully passed, so now we're back on the main resolution. Any further discussion on this, guys? Okay, roll call, please.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get my hand up quick enough.
Okay, go ahead, Lana.
I don't have, my reaction isn't as quick as it used to be. Yeah, so we're modifying it to balance the budget. How is the presentation going to be to how they're going to proceed by doing that? What's the direction? What is, because we didn't talk about that inside the workshop today.
Hey, Lana, I can't speak for everybody on the board, but I figured they'd be coming back to us in a workshop and presenting everything that we can, either increase tax or, reduce tax or whatever we can do to show the cost savings to balance the budget.
Okay, and that was my specific question.
And the other thing is, too, is we figure that there's still some third-party revenues that can be obtained. And then we have the back dates for the third-party billing back to, I think, 2021. So if we think the third-party billings is like $2 million, we can go back to 2021 and recoup those funds. So that's the things we're looking forward to. That's why I wanted the language in there. So I think it sends a message to everybody in the tribe that we're going to operate off a balanced budget.
Okay, Bridget?
We do have a continuing resolution to the end of March, Jen said, so I guess I don't understand what the hurry is, because the funding's there. We do this all the time. Not to say that I like it, but I sure don't want to pass something when we have time that we can figure things out instead of them coming back after the fact, especially since we haven't decided on those taxes. So I would motion to table.
So there's a motion and a second to table. We'll do roll call. Yes is to table it, and no is to keep it alive at this table.
Rob? Are we doing discussion on the motion?
You can't.
Motion to table?
Table. Yeah.
Not on table.
No.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Tyler.
No.
Kimberly Lee. Lana.
Yes.
Isaac.
No.
Sean.
Yes.
Aaron.
No.
Larry.
Yes.
Bridget. Yes. Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
7 yeses, 4 noes.
Okay, motion to table passes, so we'll skip this resolution. Next resolution is FY 2025 governmental capital expenditures.
Forgot that I was reading these.
You got your new job, didn't you?
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the FY 2025 government capital expenditure budget modification for a total of $643,500, of which $153,500 will come from tribal support.
Is there a motion? Motion by Isaac. Support by Kim Gravel. Okay. Jen, could you cover this as well?
Hello, this is the CapEx budget for the internal services for governmental side, a total of $643,500. Most of it is covered by fund balance, and $153,500 is coming from tribal support.
Okay. Board discussion, start with Aaron.
I'll motion to the table. It doesn't make any sense for us to not pass a budget and jump this, leapfrog this ahead, because it'll spend money that we don't have available for the tribal budget.
All right, so we have a motion and support to table. Roll call on that, please.
Bridget. Yes. Kimberly Gravel.
No.
Tyler.
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee. I keep calling her. Michael.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Carried.
So motion to table successfully passes, so we'll move on from that one as well. The next resolution is broadband planning grant establishment FY 2025 budget.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of a FY 2025 budget for a Sioux Tribe broadband planning grant with Federal Department of Interior revenue monies of $156,026.06. No effect on tribal support.
Motion by Isaac. Support. And support by Larry. Larry Jacks, can you explain this, please?
Yeah, Larry Jocks, Director of Strategic Planning. This is a grant that will essentially fund a broadband feasibility study that will aid in our future broadband activities.
Thank you. Any board discussion? Hearing none. Tyler?
I'll just say this, I really appreciate you going after this. I think this is fantastic, and it was actually really nice to hear that at our legislative reception last Friday, that Jack Bergman, Congressman Bergman, actually supports the continuation of broadband expansion, so.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Bridget.
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee. Sorry. Michael.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. The next resolution is Utility Authority Environmental Contract FY25 budget.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of a FY 2025 budget for Utility Authority environmental contract with other revenue monies of $56,418.72, no effect on tribal support.
Motion by Isaac,
Support?
support by Larry. Robin, could you cover this, please?
Yes. This resolution establishes a 2025 budget for the cost center 4044 utility authority agreement, which will allow our environmental health specialist or scientist to conduct all water sampling schedules for Hessel, Manistee, and West Wetmore housing sites.
Okay, appreciate it. Any discussion from the board? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Isaac.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee.
All right, motion carries. Next resolution is uranium testing, establishment of FY 2025 budget.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of FY 2025 budget for uranium testing with federal IHS revenue monies of $11,308.41, no effect on tribal support.
Motion by Isaac and support by Robin.
This is an exciting budget that involves contracting services to install under-the-sink reverse osmosis systems in 8 tribal member households, 6 on Sugar Island, 2 in Sault Ste. Marie, that were identified in a prior grant funding testing as exceeding uranium limits. The contracting costs also includes post-installation testing to confirm system effectiveness. Additionally, this budget allows the Sioux Tribe to purchase each home replacement filters and membranes.
Okay, thank you. Any board discussion? Isaac?
Hey, I read your response to the other places that we asked be tested, and you said you were going to test Powwow grounds if we do put a well in there, but can we still get the church tested?
Yes, I became aware that the public access point that everyone was using at one point was shut down due to other issues. So I'm instructing our health scientist when he goes over to test Camp Mary Murray to also go and see in on the church to see if he can get access to their water.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
Okay, anyone else? Rob?
I'm not really too scientific or know how this works, but is there any way that we could, when something tests too high, notify people around it? Would that be something that we could do, especially tribal members?
I would have to talk to my director and also IHS, our funding source for this, to see if that would be possible.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, those in support signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion carries. Thanks, Robin.
Thank you much.
The next resolution is CCER, TFPA, Ishkode 2, and USF WS FY 2025 budget.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of a FY 2025 budget for CCER Technical Services 1 with Federal Department of Agriculture Forest Service revenue monies of $63,560.47, no effect on tribal support. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of a FY 2025 budget for CCER GLRI, Adaptive Management with Federal BIA revenue monies of $54,147.29, no effect on tribal support. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of a FY 2025 budget for CCER TFPA, Ishkade 2 with Federal Department of Agriculture, Forest Service revenue money of $14,060.19, no effect on tribal support. Be it finally resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the establishment of a FY 2025 budget for U.S. Fish and Wildlife interagency decision support with Federal Department of Interior revenue monies of $435,681, no effect on tribal support.
Second.
A motion by Isaac and support by Bridget. Eric, could you cover this, please?
Sure thing. Thanks, Eric Clark, the Director of the Consortium for Cooperative Ecological Resilience. This is a, sorry for all the where, or the be it resolves Director of the Pont.
That's okay, you keep bringing the grant money in.
Yeah, so this is a packet of 4 budget mods and establishing 4 budgets that effectively reorganizes the seeker budget picture, and it's really to take in the new cooperative agreement. That's a 3-year funding package from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service of around $1.4 million to expand the work we've been doing with the U.S. Forest Service under the Ishkode project across a broader landscape in the Upper Peninsula and in the Lower Peninsula. And so this is pretty exciting for us.
Okay, I appreciate that. Any board discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Michael.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next resolution is White Pine Lodge FY 2025 budget modifications.
Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the FY 2025 budget modifications to the White Pine Lodge Administration, Convenience Store, and Motel with total budget amounts referenced in the RIS.
Okay, motion by Isaac. Support. And support by Rob. Danny, Jamie?
This resolution is seeking authorization to modify the budget to align with the operational changes that have already been made to focus solely on hotel operations. So that is in effect what you're voting on tonight.
Appreciate it. Any board discussion? Aaron?
I want to thank the staff, and I especially want to thank Jamie, because I know how difficult this is. We're assigned duties. When you originally came to work with us, it was at the mid-gym, and then you got this bigger scope. And you were given a lemon, and you tried to make lemonade out of it, and unfortunately, it didn't turn out. But it's not for a lack of trying and a dedicated effort. But the other thing I want to recognize for the board members that I think are going to support this is the time where we can support carrying a business that doesn't generate a profit is past. We can't do that. We have a budget that we have to figure out how we're going to cover the cost. That got tabled tonight. We didn't pass it tonight. So we're in a serious situation. We cannot carry businesses anymore that aren't generating a profit. So I hope that carries forward because we can't be losing hundreds of thousands of dollars on businesses that are never projected to make a profit. But I just want to end with a positive note. Jamie, thank you for all of your dedicated work and trying to make it work. And unfortunately, whatever the factors are, I don't know if it's just too far away or, we're getting outgunned by other businesses. You did do your best, and I appreciate it.
Okay, anybody else? Isaac?
Yeah, I'd also like to thank yous, both you and Danny, right? I know yous work as a team. I've seen yous work many times down in the basement of somewhere, right? But also, I want to just express that since we're going to close this convenience store and our members are going to buy gas, they're going to buy gas in Munising, which is a lot closer probably to where they reside, but it also, they get a better discount than they currently get, right? Because for us to survive, right, we have to increase the gas price. Well, then that just takes it from their discount price. So if you're looking at it from both ends, I think it's a win-win.
Tyler?
And then Dan, I know this was discussed earlier, but for membership who are watching the meeting here, was the gas station ever profitable since the tribe has owned it? How many consecutive years has it not been profitable? And will the hotel be profitable with the closure of this gas station?
Yes, Tyler, the gas station has always been carried by the hotel. After tribal tax and all their costs were applied, the gas station C-store has never turned a profit since we've owned it. The hotel has consecutively turned a profit, and some years a very healthy profit. So in essence, refocusing this operation strictly on hotel will ensure we maximize profit and focus our resources where needed to do so.
Thanks. And it's unfortunate that this is closing in my unit, but I know that there will be other investment opportunities in the area. Munising is, as somebody had mentioned earlier, the second most tourist destination in the state of Michigan or whatever. So I'm sure there'll be other investment opportunities for the tribe where if we're actually making money off of the hotel, it would be nice to see some of that money going back into the community. But, I'm not going to let my feelings interfere with the decision, the right decision, and that's to follow the data. And the data shows that we haven't made a profit in that property since we've owned it.
Okay, anyone else? So Danny, this one's real easy for me. It doesn't make money. Your businesses are there to make money, to pay for services for the tribe. And when they lose money, they cost us services. So I don't think we should become emotionally attached or obsessed to businesses. Sometimes you have to be fluid. And so we tried it. Jamie, you guys busted your butts, but it just didn't work out. And at the end of the day, tribal members in the Munising area will still be able to get a discount. It'll just be a bigger discount because they're not going to go to a gas station that has the Sioux Tribe gas tax assigned to it. So it'll be the true discount. So with that said, roll call, please.
Aaron,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Lana,
I abstain.
Tyler,
Yes.
Michael. Yes. Bridget,
No.
Kimberly Hampton,
No.
Isaac,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel,
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
4, 5, 6, 8 yeses.
Okay, motion carries. Thanks, Jamie. Thank you, Danny. The next resolution is applying for BIA GLRI Coastal Restoration 2025.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes the Natural Resources Division to apply for up to $1.25 million in Great Lakes Restoration Initiative funding. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes and approves the chairman of the tribe or their designee to execute all documents, contracts, and subcontracts as may be necessary and appropriate to carry out the terms, conditions, and intent of this resolution. Motion.
Okay, motion by Tyler and support by Isaac. Could you cover this first, please?
Yes, so this is a exciting grant opportunity that we have available to us through the BIA. The GLRI is actually the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative, and the project supports the Sioux Tribe Natural Resource Division expansion efforts in combating invasive species in the St. Mary River through systematic surveillance and management. In parallel, the Sioux Tribe Natural Resource Division will investigate how wildlife, particularly secretive marsh birds and waterfowl, will respond to management strategies, gaining valuable insight into ecosystem dynamics. And in addition, the Sioux Tribe will pinpoint key areas within the Great Lakes Basin for monoman, which is wild rice restoration, and take action to revitalize these critical habitats through seeding initiatives.
Okay, thank you. Any board discussion on this? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Larry,
Yes.
Lana,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Bridget,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel,
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton,
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. The next resolution is applying for BIA GLRI, Atikamek and walleye stocks.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes the Natural Resources Division to apply for a 3-year grant totaling $215,404.80 for BIA GLRI, enhancing native Oga stocks within the 1836 ceded territory, and a 3-year grant totaling $1,314,638.25 for BIA GLRI, Atikamek, from start to finish 2026 to 2028. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes and approves the chairman of the tribe or their designee to execute all documents, contracts, and subcontracts as may be necessary and appropriate to carry out the terms, conditions, and intent of this resolution. Motion.
Motion by Tyler and support by Kim. Ready?
This funding is to support 2 critical native fishery enhancement projects. The Oga is actually our walleye hatchery, and Atikamek is our lake whitefish. This is 3 years of support through a grant funding that will partially cover key personnel operational costs for the hatchery on both sites for the walleye and the lake fish.
Okay, appreciate it. Any board discussion here? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Lana,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Bridget,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yep.
Larry,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel,
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. The next resolution is approval of contract for RO system installation project.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the proposal of Nicolay Shores Plumbing, Inc. to purchase and install 1 reverse osmosis system in each of 8 separate residences and conduct post-installation water quality testing for uranium at each location. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby authorizes the tribal chairman or his designee to negotiate a contract between the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians and Nicolay Shores Plumbing, Inc., with review of the legal department to carry out the intent of this resolution.
Motion by Isaac
Support.
and support by Tyler. Robin?
I'm really excited about this. So this resolution seeks to approve a contract with North Shores Plumbing for the purchase and installation of 1 reverse osmosis system in 8 separate tribal member residences. And additionally, the contractor will conduct post-installation water quality testing for uranium at each location.
Okay, thank you. Any board discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in support signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining? Motion carries. Thank you.
Miigwech.
The next resolution is approving contract with Next Gen Healthcare.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby approves the contract with Next Gen Healthcare. Be it further resolved that the Board of Directors hereby authorizes the tribal chairman or his designee to execute all documents and agreements to carry out the intent of this resolution. Motion.
Motion by Tyler and support by Isaac. James, could you explain this resolution for us, please?
Sure. The resolution before the board for consideration is to allow the Health Division to enter into a contract with NextGen for our EHR system.
Thank you. Any discussion from the board? Okay, roll call, please.
Kimberly Gravel,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes.
Lana,
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Bridget,
Yes.
Carried.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Tyler.
We should have done this during questions, but I just wanted to state to the membership that this puts in process our new EHR system, that the electronic health records that our health division, and if you want to say anything on that and a potential timeframe?
Yes, so right now, we're looking at maybe a 3-month integration. We have to work with our internal group that what we have with the EIHR system. A lot of work has already been done prior to me coming aboard, so a lot of the things have been vetted out of the interfacing and also the hardware issues.
Okay, appreciate that.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.
Next resolution is Lodge of Hope LEO.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby authorizes the chairperson, Austin Lowe's, or his designee to sign, negotiate, and execute documents on behalf of the tribe.
Motion by Isaac and support by Tyler. Megan, could you cover this for the board and the audience, please?
Sure. Good evening. Megan Miller, Direct Services Program Director with ACFS. What this resolution is, through the state of Michigan's FY25 budget, there was one-time funding appropriated for the Lodge of Hope. And we are asking with this resolution to use this funding to support our housing, our shelter operations at the Lodge of Hope, and to designate ACFS as the tribal lead agency to administer and receive the funding, including ongoing reporting requirements and year-end reporting requirements. The resolution is also asking, of course, to have the chair or his designee sign, negotiate, and execute the documents on behalf of the tribe.
Okay, appreciate it, Megan. And we'll have the board discussion. Start with Tyler.
So yeah, I just want to mention, first of all, thank you all for all of your work. But I do want to mention the strong relationship that Chairman Lowe's has made with State Senator DeMoose. I appreciate both of them for supporting this. I appreciate Austin for pushing so hard for this and going to Lansing and hitting those offices and trying to get this project explained to people. So this just highlights the importance of government-to-government relationship, and specifically what we're going to have to continue to do over the next couple of years as we move this tribe forward. But I just want to make sure that there's a huge shout out to both State Senator DeMoose and Chairman Lowe's for pushing for this so hard. So miigwech.
I appreciate that. So this funding will pay for the homeless shelter for about 1.5 years, in a nutshell. So something we're really proud of. Anyone else? The state's paying for it too, so even better. All right, roll call, please.
Tyler.
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Abstain.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Next resolution is Lodge of Hope MDHHS.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby authorizes the chairperson, Austin Lowe's, or his designee to sign, negotiate, and execute documents on behalf of the tribe. Motion.
Okay, motion by Isaac and support by Tyler. Could you cover this as well, Megan?
Sure. So there was actually two funding sources through the state of Michigan for the Lodge of Hope. This resolution is specifically regarding the funding that's coming through the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. It's for the housing support at the Lodge of Hope. Again, designating ACFS as the tribal lead agency to administer the funding and reporting, and authorizing the chair or his designee to sign any documents necessary to receive this funding.
Okay, I appreciate it, Megan. Any discussion from the board? Isaac?
Hey, Megan. How you doing?
We're doing.
Hey, how many families do you have in the Lodge of Hope right now?
I don't have a complete breakdown off the top of my head about families. Individuals, I can tell you 36.
Okay. Is the one room that was down back in operation?
Yes, it is.
Awesome. And you're going to look
There is another family
eventually to change the flooring so it's more of a synthetic?
Our plan is, with the funding coming through us through MDHHS, is to get rid of the existing carpet and replacing it with commercial-grade laminate flooring for hygiene purposes, upkeep, that sort of thing.
Awesome. I know when we did the Christmas presents during December there was 14 children that we get presents for, so that's quite a few.
Anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Lana,
Yes.
Michael,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yep.
Larry,
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton,
Abstain.
Tyler,
Yes.
Bridget,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Rob,
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thanks, Megan, appreciate it. Next resolution is acceptance of the tribe's 401K audit proposal.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Directors of the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby appoints Dennis Gartland and Nygarth to perform the tribe's 401K audit for the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians for the year ending December 31, 2024, 2025, and 2026 for an amount not to exceed a total of $50,000. Be it further resolved that the CFO can sign the engagement letter contract and any changes in scope in order to comply with any federal or regulatory auditing standards in order to complete the audits for the for the FY ending in 2024, 2025, and 2026.
Appreciate it. Motion by Isaac. And support by Mike. Go ahead, Bob.
Yes, Bob Schulte, CFO. This is a resolution to reappoint Dennis Gartland and Nygarth as our 401K auditors. Their current cycle ended as of the last fiscal year. This will start the new fiscal year for them to go ahead and perform an audit.
Okay, appreciate it. Any discussion? Hearing none, those in support signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Is it roll call?
50.
Is it over 50?
Contract is $50,000.
Okay, we can do roll call. Do roll call, please.
Rob,
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Kimberly Lee. And Lana,
Yes.
Isaac,
Yes.
Sean,
Yes.
Aaron,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Bridget,
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel,
Yes.
and Michael.
Okay, motion carries. Thanks,
you.
Bob. Okay, so the next resolution is waiver of sovereign immunity and authorizing confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement, Sacred Path for enhanced tribal cards. Is there any objection to the reading being waived? Okay, so we'll waive the reading, and Isaac motions. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Larry. Ryan, could you cover this resolution, explain what it is for everyone, please?
Yes, by board directive, administration with the enrollment department and the legal department has been looking at how we can set up enhanced tribal card program, similar to the enhanced state IDs, but our own tribal IDs that could be used for, travel across the borders. And one of the things we discovered with Sacred Path is a company out of Arizona run by a tribe down there. They're pretty much the only business in town, but what they do is they help other tribes across the nation set up their ETC programs. They can offer different paths to that. Either we run it ourselves with their assistance or they run it for us. But in order to see the exact cost of the different options, we need to enter into an MOA with them and a non-disclosure agreement. Because we'll be talking about proprietary information. They'll be showing us proprietary software and hardware and trade secrets that they have patented, whatever. Can't talk today. And part of that is they necessitate a waiver of our sovereign immunity for the state and federal courts in Arizona in the event there is any kind of breach of that NDA. The legal department doesn't have any issue with this specific waiver. We're not obligating ourselves to any monetary costs. This is just to get information from the company, exact costs, so we can bring to the board and show exactly what it would cost us to set up the different paths to these programs. And I don't foresee any kind of litigation or anything in the future with this. So there's no legal concern with signing this or with the board approving this waiver if that's what you do.
So no issue with the waiver, and it's a tribally owned company from Arizona.
Correct.
Okay, any discussion from the board? Tyler?
Yeah, so I appreciate you moving this forward. I know that I came back with a couple of things last year from that res. The only thing, so I think our tribal IDs need to be updated no matter what. So whether we can get the enhanced ID or a more secure ID with security features, I think would be beneficial for our tribal citizens, especially in, today's environment. It's extremely important, but hopefully this works out. If not, hopefully we can look at one of those other options for a more secure ID, if we're unable to do the enhanced ID option, just to update it and make it look real. Ours don't really have security features on them. They were great. They served a purpose at one point, but I think a more secure ID would be beneficial to our tribe.
And to that point, quick, Tyler, we are working on different ways we can redesign our card to be a little more secure. It wouldn't have the same security features of an enhanced ID, but we are trying to figure out ways we could update that, as well as doing this ETC research. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you.
Aaron.
So I do appreciate the board has been talking about doing this, for months before I came back to office. We first looked at this about 15 years ago, and it was cost prohibitive. But the reason why this is so critically important right now is with this administration rounding people up and with the plan to put people either in detention camps or cages, or like last time they put kids in cages, that reminds us of the boarding school experience, is that currently, while our cards do have some information on the strip that can be used at midgems, it doesn't have the necessary information to qualify for like an enhanced ID. An enhanced ID is a step below a passport, and it has the necessary information on it to be able to verify that the person is an American citizen, that they do have an address in the United States. The tribal card doesn't currently have that. And so I know a lot of tribes across the country are saying, just bring your tribal card and your birth certificate. We could bring our birth certificates and tribal cards everywhere we go, and state IDs if we want. But the danger is, like our tribal members that live in urban areas that might be dark-skinned and might be misconstrued as a visiting person, I don't want to say immigrant or illegal, is they could end up detained for a week or two or longer until they either hire an attorney or they prove somehow that they were born in the USA. I don't know if you remember Cheech used to say, I was born in the USA. So I'm glad that we're doing this. We're finally doing this, so thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, roll call, please.
Bridget.
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Kyler.
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next resolution is protecting tribal government and services jobs.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that in balancing the 2025 budget, no Sioux Tribe governmental operations or programs and services position will be adversely impacted in the 2025 budget without first eliminating any business ventures of the tribe who have not generated a net profit within the first 2 years of operations and are never projected to turn a profit without a tribal tax or subsidy to operate. Be it further resolved that all tribal businesses and EDC staff shall operate without a tribal support supply side economic development subsidy. Any business that are unable to operate without a tribal subsidy shall prepare a closeout plan within 30 days of enactment of this resolution. Be it finally resolved that a full and transparent accounting of the fixed and operational costs to operate without a tribal subsidy shall be publicly shared with the membership within 30 days of enactment of this resolution.
So moved.
So there's a motion by Aaron and support by Isaac, and we'll have a board discussion. Start with Aaron.
So in workshopping this, there was some exception to some of the language in the bottom two resolves, which does set kind of a quick turnaround to bring this information back for the subsidies that are being given for the businesses that are never going to turn a profit. I would like to eliminate that as an argument, so I will make a motion to strike the final two resolves so that we eliminate that as an argument.
Okay, so there's a motion to amend. Is there a second? Second. All right, second by Isaac. Is there discussion on the amendment? Okay, so hearing none, we'll do roll call on the amendment.
Isaac.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
I think that was a yes.
We couldn't hear you, Lana. Could you repeat that, please?
Yes.
Okay. Sean.
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Michael.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Rob.
No.
Larry.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Carried.
Okay, so motion to amend carries. That brings us back to the resolution. Discussion. Bridget?
Well, I'd like to make a motion to table. We tabled the budgets, and I'd like to table this until we figure out what we are doing with our budgets.
Support.
So we have a motion and support to table. We'll roll call that, please.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Aaron.
No.
Michael.
Yes.
Rob.
No.
Larry.
Yes.
Isaac.
No.
Bridget.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Tyler.
No.
Lana.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
8, 4.
7, 8 yeses.
Okay, 8 yeses, so the motion to table passes. So we'll skip that one. Then the last resolution that we have on for tonight is establishing annual performance review process for team members.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Directors for the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians hereby directs the government, casino, and EDC executives, in conjunction with their respective HR directors, to update the current performance appraisal policy and create procedure for their compensation plan and implementation. Be it further resolved that the performance process under the established policy and procedure shall occur no less frequently than annually on the team member's effective date in the current position. Be it finally resolved that the Board directs this process to be established and approved for implementation no later than April 1, 2025 for government, casino, and EDC.
Motion. Okay, motion by Isaac and support by Aaron. Isaac?
Yeah, so currently, we don't have a process in place to evaluate our performance of our team members, and I think we used to do it in the past off and on, and I don't know why we would ever get away from that process. So I had put this on the agenda, and I would like to make a motion to table until the management has had a chance to look at it, but I'd like it on the next workshop, and I don't really think we should be sitting around discussing performance evaluations when it's really needed, and it should have been done for years.
That's a motion to refer.
Support.
All right, so we have a motion and support to table this. Roll call on that, please.
Michael.
Yes.
Kimberly Lee.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Kimberly Gravel.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Lana.
Yes.
Kimberly Hampton.
Yes.
Bridget.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Sean.
Yes.
Isaac.
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Okay, motion to table is successful, so that will be tabled. That concludes all the resolutions, so we're going to drop back down into new business. We have one item, which is disenrollments. Julie, if you want to come up. So the first one is for Erica Falls, if you want to explain that situation.
Erica had called our office, and during a discussion with her, she told us that she was adopted. She was trying to apply for some kind of program. After we talked with her and explained to her that the adoption process, that she may not be eligible for enrollment anymore, she changed her story and said she was mistaken. I brought this to the committee, and they unanimously recommended that she be disenrolled.
Okay, we should probably have a motion on the floor right now. So is there a motion?
Motion.
Okay, motion by Bridget. Your support? All right, support by Kim. Any discussion from the board? Okay, hearing none. All those in support signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining?
I abstain.
I abstain.
Amanda, Isaac, and Aaron?
Okay, so motion carries there. The second one is for Linda Skaggs. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Bridget. Is there support? Support by Larry. Julie, could you explain this one?
Linda is in a situation where she was enrolled under an adoptive parent. She does claim that her biological father is tribal, but he is deceased. She does have the opportunity to do DNA with a half-sister. She did not move forward on that. So we brought it to the committee, and they unanimously voted to recommend disenrollment.
Okay, any discussion from the board? Aaron and Tyler?
So I guess I have a question. I know before I left office, we were making motions to disenroll with the opportunity that if they could find the evidence, they could enroll again when enrollment was open. Enrollment wasn't open then, but, so that's not part of the motion, but enrollment is open. So if this person does go and get that information and they show up and they, as long as it's during open enrollment, they'll be eligible to, as long as they meet the criteria.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Tyler?
Same question. It was just if they follow through with this DNA test or any kind of evidence, they'd be able to re-enroll.
Yes.
Okay, Lana?
No, I don't have nothing yet.
Okay, anyone
Sorry.
else? Okay, those in support signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining?
I abstain on this one as well.
Isaac and Lana again.
Okay, motion carries. And then the last one is for Nicole Kangas. Is there a motion? Motion by Bridget. Is there support? Support by Sean. Julie, could you explain this one?
This would involve Nicole and her minor son, Connor. Nicole is also enrolled under an adoptive parent. She does not deny that she was adopted. She's very involved with the tribe, but when brought to the committee, we have no choice but to follow the code, and they unanimously voted to recommend disenrollment to the board.
Okay, any discussion from the board? Aaron?
So, we heard the case for this today. We heard from the family, and these are hard. These are heart-wrenching. Our Constitution requires that they have to have a drop of Indian blood. The enrollment committee and the staff have to follow the laws that are enacted by the board. The board has the ability to change the codes, but we do not have the ability to waive having Indian blood. I don't at all, no, let me say it in a positive way. I 100% respect the contributions that she provides and that she hopefully will continue to provide, and support for her family in language. I know that she knows the language better than most people sitting at this table, and I appreciate that. And I abstain on disenrollments because I hate them. It just seems wrong. If we were in a traditional sense and we didn't have to follow federal law, we would be accepting people in our community as if they were part of our family. That's exactly what our tradition says. But we have to follow the federal government guidelines and our Constitution. So the staff is really not in a position to do otherwise, and the board's not in the position to do otherwise. And so I'm just really sorry for the family, for the pain that this is causing you.
Okay, Lana, then Rob, then Isaac.
Yeah, well, I'm going to echo a little bit of what Aaron had just said. This was pretty heart-wrenching today, and it's not often. There's only been a handful of times in the last 20 years that I've been on the board that people actually take the time and come to the meeting to discuss their culture, their history, and their family, and they did that today. So it is heart-wrenching, especially when they're involved in for decades as a tribal member. So, and I know that the enrollment's open right now, so if she can find any other documents or proof that she may need or may not need that can be looked at. But what is the process for her and anyone else as far as an honorary member? Because I got to echo what Aaron has stated, you know, that there's contributions there and quite a lot. So what would be the process for an honorary member, again, for her and anyone else that wanted to do that?
An item on an agenda, and I would support it wholeheartedly.
Gotcha. And that, would they have, Julie, would they have to go, does the board just do it? Or do we have to go through any kind of policy, anything like that?
We haven't done one of those in so long. I haven't looked at the
Last
policy.
one we did, I remember it was Tony Abramson.
Yeah, and there is
Well deserved.
a procedure, but it's up to the board, you know, they pass that, or you guys pass that, and it's pretty,
So the last one we
Simple.
did was for Madden Saluja. If you bring the information forward, we'll get it on an agenda and we'll place that on a vote too.
Yeah, Aaron, could
I'll
you,
support
could you
that,
do that?
Lana.
Thank you.
Please.
Okay, Rob?
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask, is if we could get something drafted for honorary membership. So that's taken care of. I guess I'll just say that, you know, today I had conversation here, and there was full Anishinaabe when spoken to me by, or spoken to us by a family, and that, you know, this one kind of upsets me. I have a soft spot in my heart for adoption, and I think that it, you know, transcends law and all that, is when two people or even one person choose to adopt a child. To me, that's a full commitment, and you know, it's tough that our federal laws and our Constitution are something that, like I said earlier, I'll come here and vote no, and after more thought, you can't pick and choose when you follow the Constitution, and the Constitution does say that you need to have native blood, and it also says some other things that we're ignoring too, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but what I'd like to say is let's not pick and choose when we follow the Constitution. So yeah, this one's tough, and I will definitely support honorary membership.
Isaac?
Yeah, I was born and raised, if you were adopted, you were part of that family, no, and there was no reason that you weren't part of that family. And, you know, I think we, as tribal leaders, have let that process be diminished, and I don't know how it's going to change. I mean, we always say code or this or that, but we have the authority to do whatever we want here, right? We surely do. And, you know, I will seek support. So I don't know how this vote's going to go, but I'm assuming it's not going to go in your favor. But I will support and try to garner support to make you an honorary member. Thank you.
And you have my word, it will be on the next agenda too, so, okay? Okay, so with this one, we're ready. Lena, sorry, I forgot, you have your hand
Yeah,
up.
that's all right. That's
Go
all
ahead.
right. 'Cause, yeah, I'm trying to think what I was going to ask a question, and I got sidetracked there. Maybe it'll come back to me. I forgot.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Tyler?
I know one of the concerns that was addressed is that, you know, at least for, you know, I don't know if you ever make it up to Marquette or Munising, but at least for my unit, you're always welcome to attend our events, to be part of our community and our tribe. And I believe it was agreed upon here that there's nothing that would hold you back from continuing to participate as well in this unit.
Okay, Lena?
Yep, I remembered. And Aaron and Kim and possibly Mike and Bridget will remember this. We did have the legal department working on this a code for adopted members, because like Isaac said, you know, when someone adopts a child, they're part of that family, and that's really traditional too, in our way. And I know it was Courtney Kacher that worked on that with the committee years back. So it's not anything new that we just haven't followed through on it. So that's something that we should make a priority and maybe hear from enrollment committee on that, but it has been talked about, it has been worked on, because Courtney Kacher worked on it. I can remember talking about that in the past, so we just got to make that happen. That's what I was going to say. Thank you.
Okay, we ready to vote, guys? Okay, so all those in support signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Those abstaining?
Are you?
I abstain.
Abstain.
I'm sorry, Isaac. Abstain. Isaac, Larry. It's a little quick to the gun. That's okay.
Okay, so motion carries. So we don't have a lot of room within the Constitution. However, we recognize that you grew up in our tribal community. I mean, you're just as much of us as anyone else, and we will have on the next meeting agenda to make you an honorary member. You have my word on that, okay? And it's not going to prevent you from showing up here, going to workshops, attending our powwows. You have a place there, okay? Okay. All right, so that concludes everything we have aside from board concerns. Aaron passed me a sheet. Does anyone else have any that they want to talk about? We already kind of discussed them earlier in the workshop, but does anyone have anything else? Okay, do you want to go through them, Aaron?
Yep. All right, I'll do the first two together because they're related. Wait. So the U.S. Department of Education, Go ahead, Aaron. Forced layoffs for American Indian staff who provided in-service presentations on the treaty and trust obligation. So we're not talking about DEI or anything like that, just to educate their colleagues on the treaty and trust obligation as the core justification for providing an education. Both the executive order and legislation to shut down Indian education as diversity, equity, inclusion, that was also a directive from the president. That Title VI funding that the schools get to provide supplemental education for Indian kids is in danger right now. Also, I want to ask what our strategy is, or as it's evolving, to withstand the government freezes. So while the president last week froze and then claimed to unfreeze our funding, I was on a call last night with NCAI, National Congress for American Indian, National Indian Health Board, all the national native orgs, and then tribal leaders shared that while the president's claiming he unfroze the funds, he didn't. What he did was he reopened the portals, and then tribes across the country, we had about 30 tribes share their experience, are now going into the portal. They're applying for the drawdowns, that's how we get our funds, and they get an error message that tells them that these funds are frozen from here forward, and that they're being reviewed to determine whether or not they will continue at all. And so all of our funding right now is at risk. 100% of our funding is discretionary funding. I know some people have made jokes about me claiming the sky is falling and that it's not that bad. It is that bad. It's as worse as it's ever been. And so what is the tribe doing to try to withstand these dangerous times?
Okay, appreciate it, Aaron. Anyone else?
And I thought it was going to get an answer. We don't follow that same, well, I don't have to have an answer. So, okay, I'm good. I have two more items, though.
Keep going.
Okay. So at a previous meeting, at a board issue, I asked how we could protect our tribal children from predators and those who mask as cultural workshop contractors. We need a process in place that requires a background check so the contractors, we know that any children that might attend these workshops are safe, because that doesn't exist right now. It does exist for our volunteers. Christine provided me a copy of the volunteer guideline. It is required. It's required if you work in a position where you have access to children, but it is not a requirement currently for our cultural workshops. I'm not talking about getting rid of our cultural workshops or redistributing our cultural workshop amounts, but I want to make sure that our children that might attend the workshops where somebody has been accused of a crime or indicted for a crime for that matter, they should have to follow a background check. Number 4 is, what is the schedule for constitutional review? We had a pretty good session last week. I had asked prior to that if we could post for the next several months when we're going to be meeting so members can know and participate in the constitutional review.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right, thank you, Aaron. Anyone else? Tyler.
Just what I had mentioned earlier, just requesting that when we have any large system changes, whether it be EDC, healthcare, Kuwaitan, and we're shutting something down, that the directors responsible for those divisions release a statement on behalf of the tribe, notifying the tribe of those decisions to stave off any future rumors or panic or misinformation. I think it's our duty as a tribe to make sure that our members are notified. I think notifications could have happened a little bit better in my area, but that's, we can't go backwards, we can only go forward. So my hope is that moving forward, whenever we make these big system-wide changes, that we just make notifications or press releases from each respective division.
All right, well, that's it, guys. Any objection to meeting adjourning? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody.